There is some yearning inside us all the time to access more than just the physical. People want quick fix. They want it to happen fast. So that the other side of the brain, which can access the subconscious, they want it to happen instant. We have become so addicted to the external side that, difficult to break addictions. The word psych means between the spirit and the physical. We need understanding about spirituality. We are seeking to be spiritual. We are spirits. Therefore, we are spiritual. The spiritual practices are put in two categories. The part which is loosening your grip on the lower side, and the side which is lifting you up. This world will continue to really challenge people until they return. Plenty people are now into psychedelics. But how many of them you can say they have become self-realized? When the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Right, welcome to Jan Cosmic Foundation, another lovely evening. My name is Clement Kwekukumi, and we are always happy to have Dr. Baffour Jan on the flip side. And today we are discussing the use of psychedelics and spiritual awakening. And we know some people have been using drugs like marijuana, magic mushrooms, alcohol, and so on in spiritual awakening. And Dr. Baffour Jan is here. He is the guru. He will explain to us the benefits of using such stuff in awakening. Is it good to use psychedelics? Stay tuned to find out. Right, good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, beloved brother.
We're always happy to have you on the flip side.
Right.
Today is another great topic. It's about psychedelics and spiritual awakening. And we want to find out more into this. Is there something wrong with it, or is it good to use psychedelics in awakening? Because, Doctor, we are all going to the same place, as you always say, that maybe you usually describe it as climbing a hill. Like some people are from the other side of the hill climbing. We are all moving to the same direction, to the same source. Some people have different motives, different style of going. And but you briefly, psychedelics and spiritual awakening, is it good?
Yeah, the question is it good? Well, it depends on understanding. If one understands what happens when you use psychedelics, then you can say there can be a way to benefit so that you can say it is good. If you use it in some way also, you can say it is not good. And I have to explain.
Okay, so let's know which way is it beneficial for awakening, which way is it not?
Yes. First of all, we need understanding about spirituality. And then from there, whatever is different from spirituality, we are seeking to be spiritual. We are spirits, therefore we are spiritual. But there is something happening. What is happening is that the spirit has a wonderful power, and that power is the ability to reduce its energy, and that is to sort of focus the energy. Let me show you an example. Sometimes we have the sun is in the sky and we can say it's far away, but then its light is scattered, spread out. Yet we can have a kind of mirror. We have the convex mirror, concave mirror, and you can turn the mirror in the direction of the sun, and it will gather the sun rays and focus them at a spot. And very, very hot. In fact, in the past, some people used it, the military in the past, sometimes they use it as a warfare, as a part of their ammunition, especially on the seas. They have the submarine or they have the ship, and then the other will also have their ship or submarine for warfare. And among the ammunition for some people, they will have this mirror, large one, and they turn it to reflect the sunlight.
Okay.
And it does it concentrated, and they turn it in the direction of the other people, and it's burning them. It can actually set something on fire.
Wow.
Yes. So the sun itself may be said to be far away somewhere, but a mechanism is localizing, concentrating the force in such a way that it can even burn things. It can set things on fire. Now, when we were young, we used to do that in elementary school. We get some concave mirror, small one, and then you turn it towards the sun and direct it onto somebody's hand. He doesn't know, the person doesn't know, you say, bring your hand. Then you turn it, and this energy concentration, the light is very hot. You see, it's drawn from the sun, and the person gets burnt. Very, very hot. Well, the same way, in actual fact, spirit gets the energy we call awareness. Awareness is a kind of energy, very the highest in frequency. And
what will you compare that to, that awareness?
Nothing in this world can be compared to it.
Okay.
You see, so just like sometimes we have the high tension wires conducting very high voltage. So this is sent down, and the first part carrying it, because it's spread out, and space and time is a zone for expressing this power.
This awareness you're
yes.
talking about. Okay.
And it is localized through other mechanisms like the brain. And the brain will concentrate it, and then we have what we call objective mind. Now, when it is spread out through the universe, then we call it subconscious mind. And then when it is through a mechanism like the brain, it is localized, it is focused, then we call it objective mind. And there we see the objects, we see the differences in things in this world. So we see solid, we see liquid, we see gases or air. I mean, we encounter these things, we experience them, we perceive them because they are, the brain has been programmed, or that mechanism has been made in such a way that If the frequency is higher, we differentiate it from the next frequency, then the next frequency, then the next frequency. So everything is slowing down like that, and our brain as a mechanism is to detect the differences.
Okay.
Very good. Now, we may be used to this zone where the mechanism is telling us the different frequencies, but beyond the brain is that power, that energy spread out, and it came from the spirit, and that is the subconscious zone. And it's a potential in which many forms can be created, you see, or manifested. Now, right inside that zone, there are other mechanisms apart from our brain. And our brain, part of the brain, is made to tune into the other mechanisms inside that zone of subconscious.
Okay.
So, there is some yearning inside us all the time to access more than just the physical, because the physical is just a small part of the whole consciousness. So we see limitation when we are only dealing with the physical. And we want to transcend limitations. Everybody wants to transcend it. In this way, we become very curious how it can happen. Now, spirit is the source of the energy that we call subconscious. And the subconscious is functioning inside the universe. Then within the subconscious, we are having these mechanisms which are giving us the gradations of the various frequencies. Yeah. So, a part of that equipment, the brain, is dealing more with the outer manifestation. Then there is a part which has some access to the subconscious, and that part is not very active in people in this generation. In certain generations, it's almost like balanced, and that is what we are seeking to live here. If it is balanced, it means we have access to the subconscious as well as the physical manifestation. And if you have it that way, there is some kind of fulfillment. Things go better in this physical realm. Now, everyone seeking it, sometimes we are seeking it through practices that teachers or those who have attained that balance, they give. And people become seekers and they try to reach it. But the problem is we have become so addicted to the external side that, difficult to break addictions. So when the teachers give the techniques, like in the form of concentration, and then coming all the way to meditation, contemplation, meditation, then it's like it takes time. It takes time. And people become, because breaking the addiction to get to all these stages is so much
You
difficult.
can't use quick fixes
Yes,
to do that.
and people want quick fix.
Yeah.
They want it to happen fast, so that the other side of the brain, which can assess
The
the
subconscious.
subconscious, they want it to happen instant. The question is it possible to do that instant? The thing is, if you are to do it instant, there must be a certain level of readiness and gradual detachment from the obsession
Which is the manifest side.
to the manifest.
Okay.
And this takes a lot of time. But if somebody is very determined, then he can detach quickly. Because anything you want badly, you let go of certain things. So the hold to this world, one can loosen it, and then gradually now he can turn and be ready for the instant activation of the other side of the brain. The withdrawal makes you less sensitive to things of this world and allows the inner perception, which is the other side of the equipment, which deals with the subconscious, to also be activated. If we activate only one side, it is at the expense of the other side, then life doesn't go well. And there is something inside us that tells us, no, we must rise above this. And people become seekers. But how to do that? A lot of techniques are given them, a lot of teachings, a lot of practices. You see. Now, the thing is this. If we settle on things like psychedelics, the word psych means between the spirit and the physical. In between is the psych. The zone between
the physical and the spirit.
So that zone in between, that is what we refer to as psych. And therefore, we have the word psychic. And it deals with energy other than spirit and other than physical. But it's in between. And that is sometimes we say psychology, psychiatric, whatever. The word psych, and it is dealing with the mind. Mind is part of the psych aspect. That's why when you say psychology, you are talking about something about the mind. You see, so sometimes when your morale is down, sometimes you are told, psych yourself up, or let us psych ourselves up. You see, that means the frequency has come so down, close to the physical. We are feeling every bit of the physical situation, and our emotions are generated from inside it. But when you psych yourself up, it means the other side of the brain is allowed to be activated, and it connects you with higher frequencies from the subconscious. Yes. So,
is it good to take psychedelics?
That is where I'm coming. That is what I'm coming to. Now, if you take psychedelic, what it does is to actually quickly push activation into the
subconscious,
the right side of the brain.
Okay.
Push it into activation by force. Now, when it does it, one has not actually
detached from the
loosened the other side.
Okay.
So it can only happen up to some point, and the pull brings you back.
Okay.
You see, because it's like you are tied down with the left side of the brain, and you haven't passed through a process that loosens it. And then you shoot here up. You see, we need to shoot here up, but there are processes you are loosening here, and then you are pushing here.
To bring the balance.
But here is tied down strongly, and you just bypass the tying down and then push here up. It will take the up, but it tenses the down side, so it will pull you back. So sometimes you see that it works for you. You experience things inside the subconscious. You move about. You feel things inside the subconscious, and you perceive things inside the subconscious, and so on. But after a few minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour or something, then you start coming back, returning. It pulls you back. And sometimes the pull may be very strong depending on the person's level of attachment to the lower.
Okay.
If one is too much down with the hold in this world, the pull on your going up will be stronger. So when the person is suddenly pulled down, it can be, it brings you to an uncomfortable situation. You know it when you drink, and it puts you high. It pushes the side. The other side is of the brain, and it is kicked up, and you feel all that kind of thing. It's like a kind of bliss, you know. But then, after some time, it comes back, and that feeling. The unfortunate thing, like in the case of drinking, where your brain, the right side, through your evolution, it may not be like stagnant altogether. Maybe it's slightly activated, slightly active, but then you push it suddenly up. Now when this side is pulling it also down back, and it comes. Unfortunately, sometimes it pulls below where it was.
Then this is unfortunate.
That is what happens with drinking. You know, after it brings you down, you are lower than where you were before.
Wow.
You see?
And you may need more to also go back again.
Yes. And it's like it will work on you like, no, I have to take again. And it means it has to be continually taken. Continually, because you want a situation whereby the high becomes stable. And it can only be stable if you lower the hold on the down. And through spiritual practices, the target of the spiritual practices are put in two categories. The part which is loosening your grip on the lower side, and the side which is lifting you up. You see, All spiritual practices are in that way, unless you are not getting it from the right source. If you are getting it from the right source, any practice you are giving, either it is loosening the hold on you materially with the lowest energy, it is being loosened, or it is connecting you
to higher things.
to higher.
So you are either letting go of your anxiety, your sadness, and the rest, and you either also move to the higher level, like for joy, peace, love, and so on.
That's right. You see, so on the lower side, the hold is all the time connected with the physical. So your physical body, the condition of your hormones, certain hormones are overactive already inside your body, and it's giving you body consciousness. But you will transcend the body consciousness, and yet it is not true transcendence. What it is it is kept as it is, and then the brain side, which deals with transcendence, is activated by force. If it is activated like that, and there is a culture, there is a technique, there is a practice that goes on to loosen the grip on the physical, then it can become a spiritual plus. That is why I said, with proper knowledge, it can be such a wonderful thing.
So somebody can loosen the down ones.
Yes.
And take psychedelics to go up.
Yes, that is something. Even in the ancient practices, there was this great spiritual practitioner or teacher. He was called Patanjali. And among the techniques that you can use to elevate yourself, a certain chemical was mentioned. It's inside. But normally they keep it hidden. Don't mention it. It's, of course, it's known to the teachers, and some of the people later on, they call it alchemical process. Alchemy is a chemical process to change things, you know. But when you are going through these methods, it has to be carefully done by the teacher's guidance, so that you don't begin right away to use it to shoot up. Losing the grip of the lower mind, the left side of the brain is connected with the worldly something. But if you are going to activate this side, losing the grip of the lower mind on the down, you loosen it a bit. Once you loosen it and you are lifting here, then it begins a certain journey of just like the way we walk. The left leg pulls, then the right leg pulls, then the left leg pulls, then the right leg pulls. But imagine your left leg has been tied down, and then you move the right, and then you want to move the right again. It won't go unless in the long run you bring it back to where it was. That is why they use the psychedelic. It moves them, but in the long run, a return brings them back. So they don't really arrive at home. If I say home, stable on up, they don't get it. It's not. There is no stability up there. Okay. So anytime they want it, they use it. So it becomes, in a sense, one may have to become addicted to that also. So you do it, it pulls you down. Then you do it again, it pulls you down, it brings you down, and then you pull it again and it brings you down. Then you have to make it an addiction.
Wow.
You see? So you can't say it isn't working. It works. It does it. It helps to activate the right side of the brain and connect you to the subconscious zone. And there you see a whole lot of things because the structure inside there is not like the physical. There, things are not solid. You see? You see, from spirit, when you come to that zone, even on the physical side, you can see this example. When the physical side, things are at their lowest frequency, they are very solid with forms. But when you raise the frequency, it becomes liquid. And liquid is not having the same property as this.
It takes the shape of the
Yeah, it can. If you ask the liquid what is its form, it is so difficult to say
explain,
because all the time it's ready to take any form.
Yeah.
You see. So imagine going up, 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 and then bypassing the physical altogether. Then you enter the subconscious zone. Then that there is it's not no solid form. Everything and whatever one has been brainwashed with, whatever one has been indoctrinated with, whatever one has believed over a long time, all this believing, indoctrination means certain patterns in your subconscious to conform with form. You see, you are setting the patterns there in your subconscious. So when you go through the psychedelic and you come to that state, the only forms are forms which have been structured there by your own self. You see, from childhood up to date. So those things, they are not stable. They will be showing all kind of things to you inside the subconscious. But it is almost the same things because we are indoctrinated almost the same. It's only a few things that differ from person to person. And sometimes some have terrible experiences because what they are seeing, but it's things recorded in their subconscious.
What are some of the consequences? Does it cause madness? Because I can feel it. You could see somebody at certain level just...
Yeah, some get disjointed completely. What happens is the desire to do these things is to go to a higher level where you can be so blissful and remain peaceful and loving. But when the person goes and he didn't get the right guidance, he goes inside there and the things, you see, the subconscious preserves information. All the memory that we are having, they are subconsciously kept. There are things there, so we tap on them and we say we are remembering. You see, so the storehouse of these things is the lower side of the subconscious, because subconscious is also something that has higher side and lower side. The highest side is called superconscious.
Okay, they don't store superconscious.
No storage there. So down, then the storage is there. So some of the psychedelics, especially when the person is hooked down on the lower side, then he can't go far, and there is a tussle. And he wants to use more of the thing to push more up. And all these situations will still bounce back and keep him in the lower side because this side is pulling. The lower side is pulling. So they remain in the lower side of the subconscious where memories and beliefs are structured. They are kept, you see. And in this way, some of the people, the things they will see there is something they can't bear, because the person will say, I'm going there to enjoy things. And then as the enjoyment is coming, then fearful things are also coming.
You are not ready to see the state.
Yeah, fearful things are also coming. But these are all not spiritual. That is the point I want to mention.
Okay.
You see, when you talk of spirituality, you have to go further and further to the superconscious zone. Okay. And there you are bordering with spirit. And then you can talk about spirituality. Because spirituality means the highest frequency is being assessed. The highest frequency is spirit. And closeness to spirit makes you assess the highest frequency to some extent. And once one is doing that, you can say this is really spiritual. Okay. You see, so the zone is huge. Actually, I've mentioned that the physical zone, the worldly side, it is just like a dot compared to the subconscious zone, superconscious zone, the mental realm. Huge, huge, huge. And this physical universe is a dot inside it. You see, the scientists, they try the physical world, the physical space, and they are looking with their machines, checking the end of it. And where it always reaches and you can't see beyond it, it's an entrance into the subconscious. Yes, and they don't know it. They think it is also physical, but they use all things. They can't see anything. You see, so that place can be accessed, but one has to tune into higher frequencies beyond the physical and be able to assess that side. Right. And well, the mechanism that we have, that we can use to assess it, is the right side of the brain. See, so unless they can make things, equipment or device or mechanism that mimic the right side of the brain before they can peep beyond the universe we are having to see what is beyond that side. You see, but it's not easy to make apparatus that can
look at the subconscious
state, you see. So anyway, because the frequencies there are much higher than what we are using now, as the radio waves and the magnetism, the electricity, and the light, what we are using, they are grosser compared to what is in the internal realm. Okay. You see. So, psychedelics, yeah. So, psych means inside that zone. So, you are tossed into that zone, and there things are not fixed. And as I have been teaching on these things, you, in practical way, you can prove it by taking psychedelic, and it takes you into that zone, and things are not fixed. You see them all the time, changing form, and it's not like these physical things that are fixed. You see, and most of the forms that are terrible are due to the fact that we have been indoctrinated from childhood, fearful things we are afraid of, and we hear and we feel shaky. And all those things, sometimes we confront things that are really hurting to us, and we store fear towards them. and all those things are stored. Emotional energy, they are stored a whole lot, and they affect the structuring inside the subconscious. And the part of the subconscious which is closer to the physical is also closer to forming, forming, because it is the physical side that the forms are. So the subconscious part which is closer to the physical, that is what we call etheric. And that is where the blueprints, the forms that are going to manifest, show themselves. But certain psychedelic takes you beyond it. You can go far and far inside inside the subconscious, higher and higher. But the reason they cannot stay there is because they never loosen the grip
of the lower one.
Lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jan Cosmic Foundation, you are watching us live this and every weekend. Stay tuned. Tell a brother to tell a brother. We're enjoying spirituality here. Dr. Jan, we want sustainable ways that can help us to loosen the grip on the lower side and at the same time move into the higher side of the subconscious.
Sure.
We wouldn't like to waste much time, but if you could give us a technique on how maybe we can get something sustainable, something that we can move it without just going back and forth like that.
Yeah, beloved brother. Yeah, this is something. We have rapid ways of loosening, but it is not for the masses, because that is why we sometimes want to see seekers, and seekers must be determined and humble.
Those who are ready.
Yes.
Determination and humble.
Yeah, and humility.
You've mentioned two things right here. I wanted to explain.
Always I've been talking about these two things. And they are the keys that can let rapid loosening be done for a person. If the person is not so determined, you see, there are spiritual laws. You don't enter somebody's field of energy and force him or her out of that situation. Always, spiritual laws are at work. He must have the desire. He must have the determination. He wants it that way. You see, that is why at the time of the Christ, he will ask, do you really want me to heal you? Do you really, he wants to get something from you that you are determined. You want it. Are you sure? You see, so he used to ask. Sometimes he tells them, the one who is thirsty, come for that you will not be thirsty anymore.
So that's the meaning.
Yes. You see, he never said, everybody come, I will give you
so
water.
Those who are determined,
they are so he says, those who are thirsty, come, I will give you water. He didn't say, everybody come. You see?
And the other one, the humble, the humility.
Yeah, humility. You see, when one is not humble, then what happens is the tying down that the person is in, the indoctrination and everything, it takes them as norms. That is, it sees them as normal. Even though that is not normal, but he doesn't see it. So he's proud of it, and yet he's in trouble. You see? So life has to give the challenges to the point that one shakes himself up and drops that kind of pride, arrogance and pride. You see? So let's take this example. When one is told, seek ye first the kingdom, the rest will be added unto you. Now, people are not having the rest added unto them, and yet they have believed that they have got the kingdom. They have reached the kingdom. So that arrogance and pride that they have gotten it. And yet you see the person passing through all kinds of things, tied down, he cannot, even a temptation, he falls. Anything. And then he thinks he has gotten the truth. He has reached the kingdom. It's pathetic.
Okay.
It's pathetic. So the fruit will show the tree. The fruit you bear is peace. That means you have reached. Because if you reach, you'll be peaceful. If you reach, you'll be blissful, joyful within yourself, loving. You see, unconditional love. You see, and when these things are not there and you claim you have it, that is unfortunate, and that is pride.
Okay.
You see, and that pride is an unfortunate thing. So, if one becomes a seeker and at the same time has some pride, he cannot be loosened. No matter how the teacher wishes to lift you up, unless you change attitude. You see, once you change attitude, it becomes easy.
Okay.
You see,
Okay.
now,
So okay.
just it doesn't also mean those with the pride and they don't have much determination, we leave them like that. We continue helping them, throwing out there some knowledge, they come across it, and sometimes they think about it and they begin to yearn. You see, so all these things we are helping from different angles. But ultimately, the one who, you see, there is a saying that God helps those who help themselves. You see, you have to have something to do. The Christ said something. Not those who say, Lord, Lord, because I believe in you, Lord, Lord. Then no. Those who do his will. And what is the will of God? You are spirit, and God is spirit. But being in a situation that how you resemble God has been covered, his will is that you get out of it and come back.
Okay.
And be one
With God.
with God. That is the will of God. So as long as you are tied down there and you are believing and you are saying, Lord, 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 he says, not those who say, Lord, Lord, but those who do what the Lord wants. His paths have been scattered into all things. And in the long run, those paths have to be returned. Just like you breathe out and then you breathe them back in. So his will is that everything returns. That which went out must return. That is the prodigal son story. You go and then you come back. After experiencing all things and shortage and limitations, then you realize, then about 10, let me go back.
home.
That is the whole thing. So losing depends on determination to go back and also humility, because whatever is going on, if you are tied into it and Lord, 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 that will not solve it. And it's not solving it in the world.
Okay. All right.
You see, so beloved brother, we can take the things like that psychedelic, but needs real teachings.
Okay.
Yes, how to loosen, like you have asked. So the loosening, those who are deeply in the grip.
Yeah, that is how most of us here are.
Yeah.
We are basic students learning from this
Yeah.
channel. We are finding it even difficult to loosen the grip.
Yeah.
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 And sometimes people have those two things you are talking about, the consistency and that humility you are talking about.
And
but they are still
determination.
finding it difficult to losing on the lower side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you share something with us?
Yes. The point is, this world will continue to really challenge people until they return. So that is the will of God. That ultimately, if you don't hit the lowest point, you are not going to return. So hitting the lowest point is a must for most souls, which are, let me use the word stubborn. So that is why disasters and other things have to happen and to shake people, because they plan and tomorrow, this, tomorrow, next week, that, blah, blah. They plan so many things and all to entangle themselves more and more. And then, bam, something happens and they are shaking. And it's like, what is all this? And this life, where did we come from? And this life, what is
So those disasters and stuff like that, they are all lessons that we can learn from.
They are good. Beloved, you know, when you want to make jewels, you're a blacksmith or goldsmith, it is fire that softens the things, the metals. If it is not softened, how will you mold it? It will resist molding. It will resist molding. So the whole thing has been designed in such a way that the generation in which there is so much problems, so much disaster, so much havoc, so much challenges, so many challenges, it is a generation in which people have gone in deviation too much. So it's not a topic of some Satan, some the witches, but these things are designed in the drama that if we are going to go, there is a limit. And we don't see the limit and we are just eager going. Tomorrow you are going to hit something and today you are eager going in that direction so much. Because the language is passing through the subconscious, through the right side of the brain to instruct you, to guide you, through teachers and others. The drama has arranged so that you can, if you only one can be humble and determined to return, then it becomes easier. That's why it is said, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Yeah. And in this way, one can be set free. But lo and behold, sometimes people are even on the journey itself. But then, time and again, they are tempted to still hold on something. They don't want to leave it. And they are surrendering, they are turning this way, but that thing, they will not leave it. It may be just one thing holding them. And if you want to talk about it, that means you will stop going this direction forward. So you have to leave it until the person goes through that experience, and in the long run, that thing doesn't bear fruit, or that thing doesn't work before he's finally surrenders it.
Right. So you can join our discussion this and every weekend, and you can also check our numbers down in the description box below if you want to be a part of our studies. Jan Cosmic Foundation, we are learning how to grow our spirit. Spirit doesn't grow, spirit is as it is, but in the layman's thing, we're into spiritual growth, so you can still join us. Check the numbers down below. Dr. Baffour Jan, Psychedelics and Spiritual Awakening. Final words.
Yes. So, finally, what I would say is that we don't just simply say something is bad. It depends on how it is being utilized. And the knowledge around it, very few people know. I say very few people. Truly speaking, if you go around the world, plenty people are now into psychedelics. But How many of them you can say they have become self-realized? In fact, when they move through the subconscious realm and things are unstable and going on, they think, oh, we have seen God. You know? But that is not. It's not so. Yes. You see, we have the sun, and then we have sunlight. So if, let's say, you are traveling through sunlight and you see objects that it is illuminating for you to see and flashes of it, you say, I've seen the sun. No, it's not the sun.
Wow.
You see?
But sunlight, the reflection of sunlight could also be the sun.
Yeah, but there is difference because the medium of reflection, if something happens to it, the original sun remains.
Okay.
But the thing reflected, it doesn't remain.
It's just
So,
like a mirror.
yes,
Your
yes,
mirror
yes.
reflection.
So all those things people experience and they say, oh, we did wrong. Well, we need to understand one thing. None of them remain stable there, like maybe you take the psychedelic and it takes you up there and makes you stable in that condition and you are self-realized. No. Every day they come out of that situation and they are yearning to go again. So will you have, if you want it 24 hours, how are you going to do it for the whole year? That means occasionally you have to, when the thing is pulling you down, then you are seeking to do it again. Then it's pulling you down, then you are seeking to do it again. I mean,
but you have the natural steps.
Natural steps. But you see, there is a saying in the world that short ways are dangerous. Why? Because when you pull all the way up, if you don't know how to handle the other side, you can have trouble. Because in this world, we have everything going on inside it. We have polarity. So how to transcend polarity is not a common thing. It's the teachers, they guide you on it. Of course, it has to be genuine journey. And those who are yearning, they are seekers. They have to understand these things, because if you don't have patience for the teacher to take you through things, then you may be discouraged even on the route going. You see, let me put it this way. When Moses was taking the Israelites, and they were not patient anywhere, they stayed to wait for the next direction to move. They are angry. Let us stay here. You see, they are angry and they disturb Moses so much. And you see, so it's normal with the humans when you are trying to take them to the journey, through the journey, instead of taking time to get the message clear and then follow it. They want quick fix. And all the quick fix in the world, how many people in the world are self-realized? So more or less, unless we are not observant, we can look at the world. It's very rare for having people stable on the spiritual level, spirituality. So spirituality and psychedelics, don't really stabilize people in spirituality.
Okay.
I have to make it clear.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you also for watching. You've heard it for yourself. Try and get a teacher, a real teacher, so that he can take you through all the path to realization, and you'll be free. My name is Clement Kwoku Kumi. I was right here with Dr. Baffour Jan Kumi. We will see you next week.